Yes, I am finding those who people are opening their videos, there's some vibrant faces and good words. All those things are again prompting me to share my experiences in the sense, most of the classes I always go with my practical experiences rather than the theory part. The reason is, as a branch manager, I know how tough that job is, how enjoyable that job is. Both these things combining together will always be giving a wonderful experience which you can cherish at the later part of your life. This is the wonderful part of it. Today, our topic is managing your time, managing your stress. Both these topics are of pretty importance, mainly because as a branch manager, or for that matter as a human being, all we people are having our own priorities, our own goals, our own objectives, our own responsibilities. How you can combine all these things within the limited available time without stress. Certain very elementary points related to these topics from my point of view, I'll be presenting. Uh, Kindly be with me so that once the session is over, we can share our experiences for the benefit of everybody. I have a PowerPoint presentation which I'm going to present now. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. The purpose, as I had told you, how to use the most scarce resources for our own benefit and the benefit of the institution with which we are associated more effectively with more efficiency. This is one part of the time management. Second part regarding stress, which is again as a part of our life so long as we people are alive, but how we will be able to manage it without much nuisance or difficulty for we people. By doing these two things, the advantage is we become a true leader. As I told yesterday, every staff member in the branch and at times even the customers, they will be viewing the branch manager as a true leader. That person is expected to be the place where complete solace is received by the staff members, complete direction is being given by that person with magnanimity, with stress-free atmosphere, with a pleasant face, pleasant atmosphere. How this can be done? Many a time when sessions on time management or stress is being discussed, good number of people are having their own doubt. All these things are pretty only theory. It cannot be practical. You are not having much idea about how this is to be faced. But mind you, with all humility, I can say these words are coming to you from a person who worked as a branch manager in 5 different states in every cadre, handling the toughest places, having all kinds of difficulties which we can imagine in a branch, like time bar documents, your documents are not available, even security like gold ornaments are not available, threat from people, police cases, criminal cases, all those things are a part of our life. But the advantage of these things, I can honestly admit, it will make us more and more perfect. As you know, raw gold is not at all beautiful, but the more stress it is undergoing, it becomes more glowing, more shining. It becomes really attractive. Same way, a branch manager, the way he experiences all these things, faces all these things, take every position as an advantage, he becomes true gold stage by stage. And that glittering part will always be becoming better and better. The major issue which a branch manager, because mainly this discussion has to be concentrated on the branch managership, will be the umpteen number of activities with which he is associated. Lot of activities, because we had an executive director who was giving a mention, who was once sending a message to us. Branch manager is responsible for anything that is happening or not happening in the branch. He is responsible for anything that is happening or not happening in the branch. These words, if you analyze it properly, it gives lot of tremendous responsibility on we people, that you are the person who is instrumental for happening of some things, and you are the same person who is instrumental for not happening certain things for not happening. How to manage this? Or is it possible for a person to have his attention on all these areas and come out successfully without any difficulty? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. The major part for a person to become a true champion of time management is by having the practice of organizing himself, planning himself. How to organize? You are in charge of an institution. You are in charge of that particular branch. You are the king of that branch. And you have got the authority, the flexibility, everything available with you to ensure that things are properly planned and organized. Things are properly planned. In fact, earlier our Tata group, they had an advertisement. Plan to do better and do better than you planned. Plan to do better and do better than you planned. This particular planning part, spending time on proper planning, proper organizing will itself take you to a level where the available time will be utilized to the best possible way. The problem with most of the people, I can tell you, they are doing only crisis management. When something is coming to them, they are going to attend to it. Instead of that, can we have a practice of even before starting the day to have the details of items to be completed, prioritize things? And that particular chart which you are preparing doesn't mean that you are the only person who is going to do it. You have got a team. And as we discussed yesterday, you have to develop that team spirit. Every member of that institution, your particular branch has to be a leader. He is equivalent to a manager. Once you develop this particular attitude among the staff members, the advantage is any issue which is coming to the branch is not the issue of the branch manager. It is the issue of the branch. Everyone will be capable of coping up with that particular situation by contributing depending upon his level, his capacity. This part, the manager has to find out. I will repeat, everything need not be, should not be done by the manager. He is the manager. He has to manage. He has to manage with the available team. Understand your team, and that understanding of your team will be giving you adequate time to meet all deadlines. Organizing is a pretty important. In fact, as a brand manager, I had a pretty big book in front of me where a lot of scribblings will be there, but apart from that, what are the priority items to be completed? 1, 2, 3. Then the next part is those items, depending upon the type of work, can I find out somebody else to do that? Can I delegate it properly? When I delegate it again, please be sure that by delegating that, you are asking somebody else to complete a job. Please ensure that person is also having adequate infrastructure and availability of entire support to complete it. Just by delegating, your responsibility is not over because you are the person, you are the manager. You have to manage. Once you delegate the item, ensure the person to whom you are delegating is having total clarity on that. He has got total capacity on that. Otherwise, that capacity development part you are taking care of. It is your job. Once you do that, then please do not interfere with that. Give a deadline to him also. This work is to be completed by this deadline. And you are giving everything required to get it completed. Then you are absolutely not interfering in between. You believe that person, and I can tell you in 100% of the cases, it is going to be done. Because when you entrust somebody with a job, with an authority, believe him, it will be done. As I told yesterday, my regional manager has entrusted me the authority to sanction a loan in his, say, delegated authority. Then my responsibility is more. I am working as good as a regional manager. So any decision which I am taking should not be creating a problem for my regional manager tomorrow. I am extra cautious. When I recommend a proposal, what I do is somebody else is going to verify if at all there is a mistake. But when I sanction that, that chance is lost. You are the authority. This kind of authority you are giving to your people working with you. And those people, once you start believing them, once you start giving the right kind of support to those people, things will be perfect. They are going to do it. And for this purpose, little bit of planning. Every day, before start of the day, please ensure that you are having a clear-cut idea about what is to be done, what is to be prioritized. Many people used to ask me, you have a list, very well, you have a list, but in between, I am getting umpty number of calls from others. I am getting lot of visitors. I am having certain personal problems. How to cope up with that? These issues definitely will be there. In fact, when I was a branch manager, on regular basis, zonal office, regional office, people will be making phone call for some kind of statements or some other information. I very politely, I raised this issue in the branch manager meeting and got a confirmation from the zonal manager that unless the matter is extremely urgent, branch managers will not be disturbed during business hours. My request was, there is nothing wrong in a zonal office official contacting me during office time. Nothing wrong. It is their responsibility, their duty, their authority. No problem. But if possible, if this issue is not of that much importance, why don't you wait till the business hours is over? When I am dealing with customers, I am dealing with staff, I am having empty number of other headaches. And luckily, my zonal manager at that time, he agreed to it. I told him, sir, it is not a complaint, it is only a suggestion. He agreed to that, and he informed his officials that unless the matter is of extreme importance, please do not disturb any of the branch manager during office hours. This is giving lot of relief. Otherwise, in zonal office, there are empty number of departments, and every department will be having something or other to be dealt with by the branch. They will just leave the phone, leave the mobile, and make a phone call to you. Being a call from controlling office, you are expected to attend it, irrespective of your other engagements. And this is a disturbance. This is a distraction. It's a wastage of time. You are neither able to concentrate on the job which is in front of you, nor able to attend to that particular call from the branch or the zonal office executive, which creates an unpleasant situation. We can avoid this to the extent possible by requesting the zonal office people, regional office, circle office, or whatever it may be. Those people should not make a phone call to the branches during your business hours to the extent possible. Okay, now the persons who are doing any kind of work for that matter, I am having a pretty urgent work, I'm doing it. That doesn't mean I can be 101% adamant on that I'm not going to attend to any other issue. No, you have to be flexible. You have to be flexible. It is an art. It is an art. One thing which we can do in between, if something else comes to your mind, some kind of interferences, some kind of instructions, directions, all these things, you have to attend to it, note it down in front of in a book in front of you, and that noting you can do it later and then continue with the item which you have fixed as a priority item. This is possible. I am again repeating, it is possible. Generally, during my service, I am not boasting. Very rarely I have sat late. In fact, that was one of the major issue which I was having with my controlling office people, that they were telling they sit up to 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, but you leave by 6 o'clock. Somehow I was able to maintain it, and somehow I was able to maintain this attitude even when I was heading a zone. Without, of course, the staff members were extremely good, and we used to give lot of importance to planning, organizing in the branch. While organizing, again, good number of branches in which I have observed, and I feel it may be true for other banks also, what you need on day-to-day basis. For example, an official who is in charge of opening of current account, he should be having all the necessary stationery, every formats of the bank, everything available with him within no time. If a customer is asking you for a particular application form to open a current account, within a second, you should be able to give it back to him. You should be able to give it back to him. Even loan document arrangements. I don't know, every bank will be having their own practice, but one practice which one of my branches, I can tell you, his name is Mr. Jay Gopal. He was a sub-staff in my branch, one of my branches, when I was a senior manager, scale 3 manager. That person, the way he was arranging his files, including loan document we used to take his support, it was arranged in such a fantastic alphabetic order. A particular loan document, say King Enterprises, the moment we say King, he can trace where K is, where King is, and take out that particular document or file hardly within 20 seconds. In fact, when our auditors came, central auditors, even our RB auditors, when they came to the branch, when they were asking for a file, within below 30 seconds, necessarily this file is in front of them. They were surprised. In fact, they gave a special mention about this particular staff member in his in their report, which I highlighted as usual. We arranged a meeting, all those things. Okay, this but one thing I found out from that person was it saves a lot of time. It gives a lot of reputation just by organizing things in a proper way. Along with that, remove those things which are not necessary. Many branches I have seen where I have worked or where I have visited, that old stationery, unwanted books, documents, all those things are dumped at one place, which is giving a lot of nuisance disturbance for you to trace a document which you need urgently. One more matter, even though not connected with this, good number of managers are having a tendency to keep the documents incomplete. You are taking a loan, you are disbursing a loan, housing loan. You are taking a lot of documents. Are we completing the documents in time? Are we registering the charge as per the local rules in time? Are we keeping it in a proper folder? Are we indexing it? Are we keeping it at a particular place? Are we having the related records like the insurance or registration of charges and all those things? Many people, they give the loan fast, but this part is kept pending, which will result accumulation of work. And after some time, you visit on holidays, you sit late, you get firing, you land into difficulty because you missed something. Instead of that, can we take a decision? If I am disbursing a loan today, I will complete the entire documents today itself. A question comes, especially seasonal finances. Rajkot branch, when I was there, we were having more than 3,000, 4,000 agricultural loan accounts disbursed during a span of 15-20 days. Can this policy be applied there? No. But what is the solution? There again, you know very well, after 15-20 days, this mela is over, that period is over. It is your time to get it completed. Involve everybody. There you are having 328 staff members. You are involving staff members from other departments also. Come, please, let us complete this. This attitude will ensure the entire document part is completed without any difficulty. Auditors and the other supervisory people will be surprised when they visit the branch to find things intact without any blemish. It is possible only by knowing that what exactly is to be done, where it is to be done, when it is to be done, through whom it is to be done. It is possible, and remember the word flexibility. You have to be flexible because bankers can never be adamant. Never be adamant. They have to be flexible. I used to tell pleasing, pleasant, confident. These are the three qualities for a branch manager. Along with that, your flexibility. You have to take a decision depending upon that particular situation without, say, forgetting about the focus, because you have already made certain plans. That focus should never be kept aside. Okay, this ABCD analysis, all we people know, important, urgent. Some matters are important but not urgent, something urgent, not important. In this angle, this is the ABCD analysis of time management. This part, once we practice this, we should be able to identify what are the items where your personal focus is required. And what are the items you can just say delegate to somebody else. What are those things where your urgent, important attention is required? This way, once we are able to segregate the things, the beauty is every work will be comfortably completed. Every work has to be comfortably completed. We bankers, we can never take a chance to keep aside certain things. Registration of charges, can we keep it aside? Completion of document, can we keep it aside? If a suit is to be filed within a particular date, can we keep it aside? No. The issue comes when some kind of tendency for procrastination. Just okay, बाद में करेंगे, बाद में करेंगे. In this way, things are getting delayed. And this is, I don't know, somehow this is a practice. Now, 31st of July is the last date for filing of income tax return. By 30th of April, everyone will be having the complete details of their income and whatever form 16, 16A, all those things will be readily available in the system itself. But what happens normally after 29th, 30th of July, tremendous pressure on every office. Server will be down. Pressure will be there for extending the deadline. All those things are happening only because that deadline somehow we are trying to wait till the last date. In bank, my next topic is stress. Majority of the stress is coming just because of this kind of just keeping things pending, not getting done things as per the law, and waiting till the last moment and committing some kind of mistakes which can be crucial for the bank. Because once we file a suit that requires tremendous scrutiny, there cannot be an option for an error. All those things can be avoided once we do it comfortably, yet them free, totally free. That doesn't mean that we should not work. We have to work, but that's our job. It is our job. But in that job, once we practice it like this, I can tell you matters will be extremely pleasant, especially document getting time barred. When this document getting time barred, if we wait till the last moment, then that pressure, stress, all those issues are coming. If you plan it properly, on ongoing basis, these things are possible. Umpteen number of examples I am having as a branch manager in different places where even the language was absolutely not known to me. Rajkot, I was not familiar with Gujarati, even though subsequent to that, I was able to understand little bit. One major reason for this loss of time or improper management of time is conveyed by next sentence. Never say yes when you want to say no. Good number of issues are coming up mainly because you are in some way or other conveying yes when your inner mind is telling no. At no point of time you will be telling yes where your mind says no, because subsequent to that, for justifying it, for satisfying it, you may be expected to do certain things which are much against your conscience, and those things will be definitely eating into your time, your mental peace, creating stress. So friends, never say yes. A question used to be asked, can this be applicable even to the superior offices? My answer is yes. My answer is yes. Suppose superior officer is telling this particular information should be available in my office by 5 o'clock. And you know very well, and many a time even the zonal manager also knows very well, it is not possible. Okay, never try to argue with your bosses. I'm never recommending it. And never try to be fighting with those people. No. But at the same time, in a polite way, it is your job to communicate the right position, correct position to the zonal manager for any executive for that matter. And some of you people may be having an opportunity to deal with even with union people for some issues. All those issues, at all those points, we are never going to commit a yes when your mind says no. It should not be there, because this creates a lot of issues at a later date. Telling a firm no. A customer is coming to you for taking a loan. This is something which is happening across my native state. When the customer comes, rather than listening to him and taking a preliminary decision whether I can communicate, I can give the loan, you are asking him to come later. And when he comes, the forms are not available. When the forms are there, you are not handing over the complete set of forms. These kinds of unwanted disturbances to the customer will lead to a situation where it can be a customer complaint, it can be a newspaper report, it can be a damaging situation for the institution. Instead of that, anybody visiting the branch, can we tell the people before coming, please seek an appointment? You may not be, in their eyes, may not be that great to seek an appointment and come. But if something is to be discussed, always better fix up an appointment time and keep that time. Keep that time. Keep a diary, 4 o'clock. meeting with so and so, meeting with your Tahsildar for your recovery proceedings. Once you mention that, you should necessarily be sticking to that timeline. And once it is there, you are not going to forget about, yes, such an important meeting is there. This practice, once you do right from this stage, when you become senior, which naturally you are going to become, with all these things one by one, you will try to practice. And I can tell you, others, your other staff members will be emulating this. They will be following this. Others will be wondering how this person is able to do this much work. It is only because of proper planning. Keep a diary, ensure that everything is recorded, your timing, your appointment, meetings, everything. And every deadline, even if you have committed some deadline to your controlling office, record it there and make it a practice that should be the motivational factor for you to ensure it completed at that particular time. It is possible any level, irrespective of you becoming the topmost authority. Even then, I can tell you, it is possible. In fact, we had a general manager. His name is Mr. I can name him Mr. V.H. Ramakrishnan, very reputed person. He retired as a general manager. Even he had the CMD meeting with him. When a meeting is convened in our head office, there was a practice that the people, their seniority is decided by how late they are coming. That was the practice there. When he was the general manager, one meeting was convened there by our CMD and executive directors. He went there on time. And even after 10 minutes, they did not come. He came out. He told the secretary, look, sir, I have got an appointment with, he was heading our international department. I have got an appointment with some people who are coming from abroad for a discussion next on so time. Let me leave. It became a pretty big issue in head office. He was asked to give explanation, but he did not wait for the CMD. Kindly switch off the mic, please. Participants, please. Participants, please mute yourself, please. Okay, thank you. So it became an issue. People were telling that the VHR is pretending as if he is bigger than the ED, bigger than the CMD. But he went personally to those people and he requested, sir, why don't we start every meeting as per our plan? Because everybody's time is precious. If you decide 10 o'clock, it should be 10 o'clock. And by some reason, you are unable to be there at 10 o'clock. Permit we people to start the meeting. You can join later. It became a practice. Even though initially everybody was afraid, VHR is going to be out of international department. All those comments were there. But ultimately, this better practice prevailed. Better practice was established in our bank. Delegation is another thing which we have to do, say, very proactively. The reason is every work cannot be completed by a single person. And you have to believe your people. You have to empower your people. You have to enlighten your people to take additional responsibilities. And your job is becoming their job. And ultimately, every work will be done with proper delegation. Many a time, lot of managers having some kind of feeling that everything should be done by me. Others may not be able to do it that perfectly. This is a wrong notion. Every individual is having tremendous capacity. Believe them. And once you start believing them, once you start empowering them, I can tell you, they will do the job. And support them. Understand their issues. Support them. Provide all infrastructure or support. Naturally, the things will be done as per your satisfaction, your expectation. These kind of things will be requiring some kind of review and ongoing basis, whether things are going properly, whether something else can also be done. In this part, as I told yesterday, a periodical meeting with the staff members and other stakeholders will always be better. You get a meeting, you convene a meeting of the staff members, tell them these are the things pending, these are the activities which we have to do, how this is to be done. This is the way we planned. Somehow it was not possible to get it completed. Can we have a better way out? These kind of evaluation, these kind of review, the advantage is any staff member of the branch will be able to contribute something. Especially your local sub-staff and all, they may be able to contribute tremendously to your business. Anything which we do, I can tell you, with involving all our staff members, that team will automatically be built. And once a team is there, that team will be giving you the right kind of inputs for going forward. It becomes a collective effort. In fact, after every review meeting in the controlling office, I used to come back to the branch, and the next day there will be a meeting of the staff members. If I have received some kind of awards or applause in the branch, those things will be definitely transferred to somebody else in the branch who is responsible for that in front of everybody. And some firing which I have received, some kind of uncomfortable comments. These were the comments, how we can come out of this. Tomorrow, our branch will be number one in the zone. That word our, I can tell you, it is having lot of ramifications. Everybody feel it is their baby. It is their job. It is to be done collectively as a team. And this is possible once, rather than criticizing each other, we are finding a way out to receive the right kind of feedback. And that right kind of feedback will be giving adequate opportunity for we people to have a congenial atmosphere, which will be developing into a stage where everybody is happily working within time by meeting all the goals, all the objectives. Here, my time management part, of course, I am leaving it here. This topic, as I told, umpteen number of activities connected with time management can be done. The main thing which I suggest is jotting down, prioritizing, and allotting the work, delegating the work to our colleagues, review it periodically, taking the feedback periodically, empowering our people in a proper way, ensuring to find out which are the areas where your time is lost, whether you are getting a lot of disturbances. You should be able to tell somebody making a phone call, chit-chatting, tell them very politely but firmly, sir, I will call you back. And one normal complaint, I don't know whether others are feeling this, normal complaint with Bank of India branch managers used to tell is the issue related with retiree people like us. They come to the branch, they will continuously, they will boast about their activities at a later period, earlier period, waste their time. It is difficult to tell, no to them. How will you ask them to leave? I can very well tell, you are the branch manager, you are the king of that branch. You have got every right to decide who should sit in front of you. Very politely, but very firmly. Do it once, twice, thrice. I can tell you that message will spread. Nobody is going to put you into difficulty by sitting too late in the branch. Okay. Now, this topic, of course, I know a lot of things have to be told on this. During our normal training sessions, we used to conduct a lot of exercises related to it. Unfortunately, here, the message was to be communicated, which I have done. Okay, so now we will go to the next topic, which is allotted to me. It is stress. Stress as such, many times it is gradually becoming a distress, and it becomes unmanageable, which will lead to other kind of complication, mainly related to your mental, physical health. Can this be avoided? If yes, to what extent? Here, umpteen number of theories are there that it is because of this, avoid all those things. You take this medicine, it can be avoided. All the there can be umpteen number of suggestions or medications for this particular issue. But for the bankers as such, the major part of the stress is coming mainly because, this is my personal feeling, with my experience I'm conveying, majority of the reasons for having stress on ourselves is you are not able to manage yourself. I will repeat it. You are not able to manage yourself. What does it mean? Managing yourself. You as an individual, there is tremendous responsibility on your shoulders. You are a branch manager, you are an employee, you are a superior, you are a subordinate, you are a family man, you are a father, mother, whatever it may be. Umpteen number of responsibilities connected with this position is always pressurizing you. And you have, say, limited resources, whether it is related to time, money, or whatever it is. Within those resources, when you try to manage a particular situation or an issue, naturally, some amount of stress will crop up in your mind. The issue is, Can it be managed? If yes, how? And if it is coming to a level where it is impossible to be managed, what should we do? The major part to sort out this issue, as I told, the third item in this slide, learn to manage self. Yesterday, as when we discussed about relationship building, we were telling about know yourself first. Rather than developing a relation, develop a relation with yourself. And that relation will give you inputs to find out who you are, what you are, how you can cope up with these things. Once you identify the areas which are causing stress for you, one by one, you can eliminate all these things with the proper thought process. Thought process, I will just explain in a different way. Suppose in your school days, the teacher is asking you to draw the picture of an elephant. Once the teacher is asking you to draw the picture of an elephant, even before the elephant comes to the paper, the elephant comes to your mind. And whatever is inside your mind can only be translated into the paper. Here, for our purpose, let us imagine that we should be able to get out of this stressful situation. For that part also, it should start from your mind. That positive thought process should start from your mind. An elephant which is figuring out in a paper is picturized mind. In the same way, this comfortable feeling, stressless feeling, it has to start only from your mind initially. Once you are able to visualize yourself in that situation, gradually those things will be translated into reality, and in your life, you will be able to meet every situation with magnanimity, equanimity, calmness. For this purpose, everyone should be having a better work-life balance. This itself is a pretty big topic, work-life balance. On the one side, you cannot avoid your work. As we discussed yesterday, the majority of your active time you are spending with your colleagues in your office. So work you cannot avoid. In the same way, you have got a personal life. You have got your family, your children, your wife, your relatives, your social commitments. These two things, proper balancing is to be done by every branch manager to become successful. You cannot be too much engrossed in your work and ignore your family, or the other way also. All those things will be creating an imbalance which is harmful. But the moment you fix up priorities and understand what are the priorities for my family, for my work, then synchronize it in such a way with the available time and resources, things will be perfectly okay. Here again, many a time, most of the managers or most of the people with whom I have interacted, they will be finding it difficult to give the priority wherever it is needed, and will be worried about certain situations where the priority need not be given. This is a mental exercise. And that mental exercise, once you do, I can tell you, you will gradually become an individual with equanimity, where you are able to face situation without much difficulty. Yesterday we discussed about interpersonal relation. I can tell you the stress as such is mainly created when there is some kind of imbalance in interpersonal relation. Once we do have the right kind of interpersonal relation, not only with our staff members, even with customers, even with superiors. Yesterday our Fariji was telling about the necessity for contacting zonal offices before you take charge of the branch. All those things are a part of our interpersonal relation. Once you do this, any kind of issue which you are coming, it becomes an issue of the other person also. They will be there to support you because you have developed that right kind of situation. And that situation will be gradually leading you to a stress-free life. Stress-free life. And you are always open. You are flexible. You are never adamant. A stick, if it is too stiff, you cannot bend it. It will break. But if it is flexible, it can be bended like this. And that kind of flexibility, it has to be there for all the people. This take care of your health. This is very, very important. Your emotional, your physical, internal health, it has to be developed. You cannot ignore it. I have seen several young managers working, sitting up to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, not taking food on time, lot of coffee, tea, cigarettes and all. No, you have to take care of your health. In Bhopal, in the branch where I worked, it was adjacent to that Bhopal, factory where the Bhopal tragedy happened. It was Hamidia Road, where in fact we every day at our timing at 5:30, every day at 5:45, we all staff members, we were having a yoga session for about 1 hour. Nobody was an expert. At that time, I had just started practicing yoga. Okay, now I am taking sessions. That's a separate issue. But we started doing this. The advantage of that particular session for 1 hour, it was in 99. Even after 23 years, some of those people are still in touch with me because the amount of comfort and relief which those people got. As an individual, when they are improving, as a staff member, they are improving. I am getting that improvement. That improvement is reflected in my branch. Yoga, pranayama, meditation. I'm a regular practitioner, and I can tell you the benefit which we can get out of this. It is unbelievable. Many a time people used to tell, no, sir, we don't have time. I have to leave at 8 o'clock. I come back at 8 o'clock. Agreed. In spite of all these things, I can tell you, we can find time for this. In fact, some kind of developments are there, something related to office yoga, which you can practice by sitting in the office itself. Just spending few seconds, you can do certain things, but do have a practice of doing yoga, pranayama, meditation. These things will be giving you tremendous improvement. And those improvements will be reflected in your mental strength. It will gradually help you to reduce your stress level. You become a magnanimous personality. Others will come to you. How you can be that much calm? How you can be that much cheerful always? This position will come. Try to practice this. Those who are doing it, encourage others also to join you. Those who are not doing it, start practicing it. As a banker, I can tell you, we have to do this. Get up slightly early. If you are getting up at 6 o'clock, try to get up at 5:30. Try to get up at 5 o'clock. I can tell you it is possible. It is possible. And once you have the practice, you feel comfortable in doing all these things. Please do this. Learn to be a witness. It is something like not taking everything into your mind. Things are happening. Let it happen. But as an individual, we are never taking things to our mind. This position, I can tell you, can control your mind. And once you are able to control your mind, you are able to manage yourself in the most possible way. You have to recognize, release, reconsider. These things are related to what I already told earlier. Any issue, you can view as a witness and you can reconsider your decision. You can release your energy and all those things. And all these exercises will be giving you sufficient capacity to adjust yourself, sufficient capacity to suit your new and changed environment. For a person like me who is getting a transfer to Lucknow when I don't know Hindi, getting a transfer to Maharashtra when I don't know Marathi, when I'm getting a transfer to, say, our Gujarat where I don't know Gujarati. But even then, we are able to get adjusted to the changes, adjusted to all kinds of situations there, mainly because you got adjusted to your mind. That flexible part you have already injected. And with all these things, some kind of sense of humor. You can laugh at yourself. You can laugh at any situation. In fact, when I am committing a blunder by telling something in Hindi, I laugh myself. I'm never taking it that much seriously. What others will think. Others will not think anything. They know very well you are a South Indian. You are not expected to speak that much excellent Hindi. But gradually you improve. But still, this sense of humor, I can tell you, it will create a wonderful atmosphere at every place. I will just tell you one more incident related to controlling the mind. You might have heard about the name Roger Bannister. I don't know, Dr. Roger Bannister. Earlier in 50s, 40s and all, running 1 mile below 4 minutes, it was considered to be impossible. Several people tried, several athletes tried, it was impossible. But in 1954, 6th of May, Dr. Roger Bannister, he was an English athlete. he broke that barrier of 1 mile below 4 minutes. Once it happened, several applauds and appreciations came. A lot of people asked him how you were able to manage it. The reply given by him was that I never ran with my legs, I ran with my heart. I ran with my heart. I was believing myself in my heart that I am able to do this time. And that energy itself gave the right kind of momentum to this person to reach that particular target of 1 mile below 4 minutes. And the beauty is, before July 1954, 7 people broke this record. Because the achievement of Dr. Roger Bannister created an impression among others also to believe that this is possible. So once you start believing this, things will be perfect. For any amount of success, 3 things are required: right kind of attitude, right kind of knowledge, right kind of skill. And for us, bankers, knowledge acquisition, it is an ongoing process. Attitude, it is something you can develop by properly maintaining balance in your mind, properly giving directions to your mind. That self-motivation. Skill will be available only by practicing. Yesterday, I was suggesting that you should speak whenever you get an occasion. Some of you people came out, good. And my expectation is on 31st, when we have the concluding session, all 70 people who are available here will be expressing their opinion without any inhibition. This should be the takeaway from this meeting. This, once you train your mind, gradually all those things will be coming up. I will conclude with one small story of a sannyasi who came to a village, who became immensely popular with his capacity to predict everything. And then 2 mischievous boys in that place thought that they should put the sannyasi into difficulty, prove him to be wrong. They caught hold of a parrot, went to the sannyasi, kept their parrot in their hand and behind their back, asked the sannyasi whether this parrot is alive or not. And their idea was that the parrot is, if the sannyasi is telling the parrot is alive, they will ensure it is not alive. If they are telling the parrot is dead, they will release and the parrot will fly. The sannyasi then told these youngsters, young people, the answer for this question is in your hands. The answer for this question is in your hands. I will just supplement it for improving yourself, managing your time, managing your stress coming up in your life, managing yourself. It is in your hands. Please use it properly, judiciously, enjoy it, enjoy your life. My best wishes. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Unnikrishnan sir, for that beautiful session. I think there is a question from Mr. Randhir Patil. Mr. Patil, please unmute yourself and ask your question. Mr. Randhir
Sir.
Patil? Yes.
No, sir.
Actually, you had raised your hand, so I thought you want to ask a question. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Excellent. Wonderful.
Krishnan.
Thank you, sir. And but I'm sorry, initially I had some difficulty technologically.
That's okay. That is not in our hands.